Alright, now this is my video quiz over algae. Question one, explain the major characteristics of algae that differentiate brown algae, red algae, and green algae. Well, let's start. Red algae is they're most multicellular, um, mostly multicellular, cellular. um, Brown is also is mostly multicellular, and green algae can be either way. So the main difference is where they live. So red algae you're gonna find more along coral reefs and stuff like that. Uh, Brown algae you're gonna find in coastal temperate waters. So like polar regions, temperate regions. So about northern Canada and above, and actually whatchamacallit, um, sea otters love this. Love these ones. And then for you're also gonna want to see green algae. That's the stuff that's mostly in freshwater. You know that you're gonna see growing on rocks and plants and stuff like that. Now they all have chlorophylls. They have uh, and some other characteristics that differentiate. Is red algae. Absorbs all their colors, reflects the red as obvious. Brown obviously reflects brown light, and green obviously reflects green light. That's how they get their colors. Like me, I'm white, so or I don't know what you call this. Anyways, that's the color I reflect. So there's some characteristics green algae has um, with land plants. You know, they're the pigments and the chemicals um, the chlorophylls that they have. They contain some carotenoids and have A and B chlorophylls. Chlorophylls plus they reflect green light. So to draw a diagram of zygote meiosis, gamete meiosis, and alternation of generations, explain the process of each life cycle. So, start off, we got zygote meiosis. As you can see there, as you can see here, we get the gametes going up. Now the zygote, first we start with the zygote, which is the fertilization of two nuclei cells from the gametes. So, just like regular reproduction. Then you go up. You got the haploid cells, which spend a half of their lives with reduced chromosomes. And then the haploid phase, um, it's formed by cells to produce gametes, and the gametes are the sex organs. So. Now, we got the gamete meiosis, as you can see here. Now, it's the same process until you get to the diploid thoracis, which is the two parent cells free and alternating generations, which we'll talk about that more. And the gamete meiosis cell undergoes two fusions, resulting in four gametes. Now, the alteration of generations. As you can see right here. The alteration of generations is the sexual phase and asexual phase in which life cycles of an organism. So algae. So what happens is that they end up forming is where an organism can produce two sex organs. So it goes and reproduces obviously as the algae. It goes up and it forms both XY and XX chromosomes. And then you see male, female sex organs. And then it goes and produces, so then it produces some that can have only produce male sex organs, some that can produce female sex organs, and some that can produce either or. That way, it keeps the pool diversified, and it just helps with it be. It just helps with it the chance of the species surviving. Now, number three, would you consider algae a plant? Explain why or no, why not. I would not, just because it doesn't have many of the characteristics as a plant, and evolutionally they form separate. So, algae does have a lot in common. It does have a lot in common with plants. However, so does some fungi, like mushrooms does too. However, they are separate. They are separate. One thing that makes it separate is, I would just say, yeah, because it has no root stems, and they're what you would call it. There's no root stems, no roots, etc. So I would say, yeah, they're similar, but just kind of like birds' wings and bugs' wings are similar.